Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. It has been a while, but welcome back to the Dogger Football channel. We are here for a match preview between Crystal Palace and Liverpool. Two unbeaten sides left in the Premier League. I never thought I'd be saying those words, but it is true. Crystal Palace fourth versus Liverpool first. It's going to be a fascinating encounter, and it's going to be a fascinating weekend. And yes, we've obviously got the Ryder Cup happening right now, and we've also got an ex-Brighton manager, Graham Potter, whose face has been morphed into a million things right now. Answers on a postcard, please. But I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by my very good friend and Palace fanatic, Ali Logan from Pride of South London Fan TV. How are you, Ali?
Yeah, good mate. Good to be on, and this will probably be one of 10 previews we do this season with the amount that Palace are playing Liverpool.
I know we got you in the Carabao Cup as well. Yeah, I think safe to say, I think we'll be the sick and sight of each other for sure. I think we'll be that'll be the very very case. But no, we have to speak about obviously Palace because unbeaten in 17,
Mm.
which I think from if I was looking at the stats, one more game and that would equal a club record.
Yeah, so one more game unbeaten would have us unbeaten for 18, which would level the amount we were unbeaten in 1969, which is our club record. So yeah, pretty amazing stuff. And there's other amazing stats out there as well, and I'm sure we'll talk about Mark Gahey in a bit. But the back three, Lacroix, Richards, and Gahey together have 11 clean sheets in 19 starts together. So some pretty
Wow.
amazing stats around us at the moment. And obviously, within that 17 unbeaten run, we've won an FA Cup and a Community Shield. So it's a pretty surreal time to be a Crystal Palace fan. And our first game in Europe next week.
I know. How excited are you for the Conference League?
Yeah, I think once the injustice of the everything that happened in the summer with the demotion, once you've moved past that, and I don't think you've ever moved past that. I think that always needs to be raised, and we'll raise it all season. But I think everyone's really excited about it because I think we're looking at it maybe with Eze leaving as well, thinking this Conference League is a competition we could definitely win. We're the favourites for it. We're the favourites for a European
Hmm.
competition. So it's really is a really good opportunity to win another trophy. And it could the whole thing could be a blessing because it could extend us to have 2 years in Europe. So and I think everyone's just, in a way, what happened in the summer is a fuel for us. It's going to be the best protest tour ever. I mean, UEFA have already fined from the last game. Our fines are going to be massive, but the the vision I've got is us winning that trophy and the reaction of our fans to the presentation. I mean, the dream for me is we win it and the captain just gets the trophy, walks away from the UEFA presentation, and just takes it to the fans. It would just be
Hmm.
unbelievable. But excited for Europe, yeah. But it brings a challenge, obviously. The Thursday to Sunday is a new challenge for us.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna come to, and obviously with the very good start that you guys have had. I mean, you'd be absolutely dreaming of fourth place right now. How have you felt at the start of the season Palace have had so far?
Well, when we're so high in the table, obviously it's great. And what we have got is a good start to the season, which is what Oliver Glasner wanted,
Yeah.
which we didn't have last season. Last season, we had a really bad start, which people forget amidst the winning the FA Cup, but it killed us in terms of the league. Even though we had our highest points total last season, we still finished 12th. And if we'd had a better start, we could have been in contention for Europe via the league places. And what we're doing is giving ourselves a solid foundation that can be possible. Given the runs that Oliver Glasner teams go on towards the end of the season, it's getting pretty exciting. And I think if we get something out of the game tomorrow, I think there's going to be a lot of noise around us again. I mean, there's a lot of noise around us at the moment anyway, but I think it will really make everyone sit up if Palace get a result tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it could be a really interesting game tomorrow. But let's get into the chat because I have noticed there's a few of you in here. Hello, Shono. Hope you're well. Hit that like button. Absolutely. Chris Welsh as well. Good evening. Hope you're well. I'm very well, thank you. Um, Stephen, I'm good, thank you, mate. I am good. Good to finally sort of be back into the swing of things. My voice is back, which is the main thing as well. So I, I echo this, absolutely echo it. He is back in the squad tomorrow as well, but
Yeah.
we'll get to obviously
Tell you what
team
though,
news very, very soon.
not as much as Aston Villa. Aston Villa fans absolutely hate the sight of Sarr. The amount of goals he scored against them, particularly, obviously the FA Cup semi was the big one. But
Yeah, absolutely. Crystal Palace fans in Europe, you've got to love it. Absolutely, absolutely indeed. I don't think Palace win the Conference League, but they will certainly be in the latter stages. I think they've got a really good chance. I think they've got a really, really good chance. But yeah, they'll definitely be in the latter stages. And Spencer's in. Hello, Spencer. Hope you are well as well. Now, if we're going to be Crystal Palace Liverpool without speaking on the Mark Guehi situation. Now, I haven't spoken to Ali since all the drama happened with the
no, because
Mark Guehi
we
situation.
did our predictions, didn't we? But that was before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So you've obviously still got Mark Guehi. Now, it does look like it is increasingly like he's going to be leaving in the summer. I think that's been highly
that's
well
yeah,
documented.
that's inevitable. Yeah,
But how did you feel about like the whole saga? I'll be honest, I don't put any blame towards Mark Guehi's side or anything like that. I
mm,
think Mark Guehi acted as professional as he has been.
yeah,
Probably sent out a message to Isak, Vissa. He probably sent out a message. This is how you act as a footballer.
mm,
This is how you act as a footballer. When a transfer saga is happening, basically just continue on with your football. And look, look what happened. Get us linked with Liverpool the night you play Aston Villa and
yeah.
scored a magnificent goal as well. And then obviously deadline day happens. Look, you know, I think if I'm being honest, like I know that there's people blaming on other sides. It's going to be a feisty game tomorrow. I can definitely say that. But
Mm.
from a Palace point of view, how relieved were you that you kept him, and sort of secondly, were you kind of disappointed that you didn't get sort of a defender in over the line on deadline day?
I was. I first of all, I think everyone left it too late. Is what I would
Yeah,
say. I think every on both sides left it too late. I think Palace didn't have a replacement like that. If I'm honest, I was surprised when it looked like it might happen on deadline day, um,
yeah,
because in the past when we've let players go, you can sort of sense it because they've not been included in things. So,
yeah,
for example, I went to watch Palace train in the summer, like not like this summer, the summer before, and Raksaki was left out of the match situation in the training because he was about to go on loan. Gahey was included in the game, and he was being heavily linked to Newcastle at that time, and it never materialised. And I thought all the
yeah.
time that one's imminent here, one's not. Eze doesn't play the day before his Arsenal move. Gahey plays the day before that alleged move. So
Mm-hmm.
the pattern there, I never really thought it was going to happen. And then when it looked like it was going to happen, I was surprised we let him go to medical. And that's where I'm annoyed with us, my club, because that's playing with a player's emotions and a good player and a good
Mm.
person. Although Gahey is the ultimate professional. I never worried, as Oliver Glasner said in his press conference today, that he was just going to fit back in. He's a South London boy. He's a model professional. He's going to fit back in, and he loves playing for the club, and he loves the team and the fans, and that side of it fine. I don't think we ever. I don't know. Fans have different theories on this. Some fans might say that Parish was swayed by Glasner, and he didn't want to upset Glasner. What people need to remember is not just Steve Parish. There's other American investors involved in this who he has to appease. And I personally, I don't think Parish ever wanted to do it. I think this wasn't there
Mm.
something that come out that in one of the articles that he had some gym class at like, so he didn't get over to speak to Gay until like 7. So, in my opinion, and people will talk about running down the contract and the loss of money, but Parish has fallen for that as well. He did it with Wilfred Zaha. So
Hmm.
you weigh it up from our point of view, the money that it's worth for us, the prize money to win the Conference League, and the stat I've given you about our defence, where we've got 11 clean sheets in 19 games of that back three playing together. You've got to weigh up the value. In one sense, you'd say
Mm.
it's ridiculous, given even PSG didn't even let Donnarumma go on a free.
Yeah.
They weren't prepared to let him run down his contract. So from that point of view, we'd sold him. I'd say, well, actually, you can't argue it. But to not have a replacement lined up, I think was when you've had all summer is pretty ridiculous. But I'm not wholly convinced Paris wanted to let both Eze and Guéhi go. What I would say on the Liverpool side is I think you relied too much on the fact we'd be willing to sell because for a lower price because he's on a free. And what I
Yeah.
would argue to the Liverpool fans who are coming out saying, "Oh, it's terrible what Palace have done to Guéhi," if you really want to play, get him earlier in the summer. And I know he's on a
Yeah.
free, but really show you're serious. Come in with like 45 million or 50 million. I know he's going on a free, but get the player because ultimately now in January you probably are in a box seat, but then Real Madrid's name are being mentioned.
Mm.
And interesting enough, I'm not sure. Footy Insider, you can debate about the source. There's something on Footy Insider today that Gay and his team do feel Liverpool left it a bit late.
Mm.
So I think
Yeah.
it's a whole combination of things of why it didn't happen. Um, it's a weird one for me because in one way you look at it's in what I was saying about Donnarumma and PSG not letting a player run down his contract. It's insane. But on the other hand, you can actually see the financial merit and value in it because the prize money if we win the conference will be much greater than if we get knocked out second round of that. And then also it then leads on to qualifying for the Europa League and getting that prize money. So
Yeah.
things are roundabouts really. And ultimately, Mark Gahey's wearing the red and blue tomorrow, not the red of Liverpool, and that makes me very happy. So
And the whole Igor thing, like I was
yeah,
really shocked when that sort of broke that he was on his way to pass for a medical, and then all of a sudden
mm.
that breaks down, and then he finds himself at West Ham. It's like
So at this
like
point, Palace social media is going into absolute meltdown because they're like, well, we're selling Mark Gahey and we're getting a Brighton reserve in. So at that point, like again, I just come back to I'm not sure. For me, he was just going to be brought in as an extra. There was a player for Milan who we were meant to be looking at, who we allegedly bid like 20, 30 million on. And also, what do you believe on these deadline day? It's so whipped up. So allegedly, we put in a 30 million bid for a Liverpool centre back. Sorry, a Milan centre
yeah,
back. An AC Milan centre back. But I mean, that's never going to happen on deadline day, is it? You know, Milan aren't suddenly going to sell one of
mm,
their players on deadline day. So I was watching it, and I was kind of surprised at one point when it looked like it's happening because I thought, nah, surely not. Um, and I think everyone just left it too late. Um,
yeah.
and I think,
Uh,
listen, people say, "Oh, I feel really sorry for Mark Gahey," right? Do you do you think his agent wanted him to go on that day? Because if I'm Mark Gahey's agent, I'm wanting him to leave on a free next summer because the fee I'm going to get and Mark Gahey's
mhm,
signing on fee is going to be massive. I wouldn't feel too sorry
yeah,
for Mark Gahey because next summer is post World Cup. He's going to have his pick of his clubs. He's going to get some
yeah,
insane signing on fee on a free. So I always
yeah,
thought, from Mark Gahey and his agent's point of view, one more year at Palace where you've got the chance to. He's already a legend for winning the FA Cup, but you're the chance to be the first Palace captain to lift a European trophy and go out on even
mm,
further of a high. And then to have
yeah,
he's very young, Mark Gahey as well. He's only around 24, 25. And then to have the pick of the clubs um, and the financial rewards that he'll get, I think it's worked out. I mean, it might still work out for everyone because Liverpool, I think, are still in a very good position to get him on a free. And the most sensible, the most for me that when I all summer I looked at it and thought, I think he'll go to Liverpool, but not until next summer when Konate probably leaves you on a free and Gahey comes in on a
Hmm.
free, and that just seems like common sense.
Yeah, I think we left it too late as well. Um, I've been kind of sort of. I know there's a few people I've spoken to who said, well, why do we sort of leave it till deadline day? If we obviously wanted them before um, deadline day, then we probably should have, at least got the boat. My real surprise was the fact that you were obviously looking at defenders, you were obviously looking at sort of replacements. I was really surprised that we didn't do a deal to say like Guehi comes to us and you maybe get Gomez for
Yeah,
like a season on loan or something like that.
I was literally going to say that. Like, you took the words right out of my mouth. Why? Why? But Liverpool didn't. I think we Palace, and you don't know what to believe. But apparently, Palace asked that question. Liverpool didn't want to do it. But then he's going out on loan to
Mm,
the other side. So I don't know. Maybe Glasner didn't said no to Gomez. I don't know.
mm,
Deadline day is mad anyway, and it's difficult to know which sources to believe, isn't it? It's an absolute mayhem. So what do you
yeah.
believe? I never believed the nonsense that Gahey was really angry or upset. I think it was just all whipped up
No.
frenzy stuff, and I don't think really they'd be too surprised that it didn't happen.
Mm.
Um, but I
And
agree
then
with
and then
you.
there's
I think the Gomez thing made a lot of sense to me. It made a lot of sense, but it didn't happen.
yeah, and then there's now there's basically there was stories coming out. I don't believe everything you read that, but Brighton were in for Gomez, allegedly.
Yeah.
So no, like
Mm.
I think at the end of the day, we only have ourselves to blame. Obviously, with the injury to young Giovanni Leone, who I thought had a terrific debut against Southampton. I thought he was absolutely fantastic, and then
Yeah.
basically just the most unfortunate circumstances. Basically, wins a ball, goes over his knee,
Mm.
and as soon as you see the ambulance staff sort of wrapping his leg or wrapping his knee, I
Mm.
immediately thought the worst. Um, I actually thought he had concussed himself. That was my first initial thought when
Mm.
he went in for that challenge. But he obviously seen he was in a lot of pain, and I think the fact he had oxygen as well, it kind of it made me think this is a really bad one. And now Slot's confirmed that he's out for a year, which is absolutely heartbreaking for the kid. And look, obviously we wish him well, but I think the thing is with Leone is he's got he's got players there at Liverpool who have basically gone through these kind of injuries. He's got Gomez, he's got Van Dijk, he's got Verts. They've all had
Mm.
really bad injuries, ACLs, etc.
Yeah.
Um, so he'll get the support he needs. But it's just really gutting for a player to come into a new league, plays absolutely fantastic on his debut, and then to come out with a really serious injury is just it's just really unfortunate luck there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, we got a similar thing. We got a player called Riyad from Spain.
Hmm.
Who we got from La Liga. He's came with good pedigree, and he got injured straight away. Yeah, it is a real shame for the player, and never nice to see those injuries. But it does, of course, stoke up the gay thing again because then you think, well, will Liverpool try again in January? Now you kind of assumed that it would just go to the summer, but maybe that forces Liverpool hands to come in again in January. So I don't think it's going to go away. In January anyway, Mark Gay can start speaking to clubs abroad and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
this story is going to rumble.
it will
Yeah,
certainly
and
rumble.
it's going to be a
Um,
massive narrative as part of it tomorrow, isn't it? It's all
oh, absolutely.
the big broadcast Sky Sports are going to whip it up, and I don't think it's a big deal. I think there's probably a massive lot of respect between Slot and Glasner. And I mean, he's probably going to score, isn't he? Because it's written. He's probably going to
It,
score.
it feels like it. It feels
I
like he
either
feels.
in for us or but when we played Newcastle, he scored an own goal last year. So
Oh, that's true.
after
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
stuff with
yeah.
the gay he links to Newcastle last summer, obviously all the Newcastle fans were like, "Oh, well, he's scoring for us, and he wanted to join us." So something's going to happen with him in the game tomorrow, isn't it? It's inevitable.
You, yeah, that is inevitable. That is inevitable. Spencer says, I do think they have a chance. I rate Glasner. I rate Glasner. I think he's a really good manager. I think would would you say he's your best manager ever? Is
Absolutely,
that too?
unequivocally. I still don't think he gets. I watched something Danny Murphy said in Talksport in the week, and it really annoyed me. People were talking about Glasner for the Man United job, which obviously I hope he doesn't get. But it doesn't get talked enough in the media, by the way, that Glasner plays a system that Amarin tries to play much better. But he was saying like, oh yeah, but Glasner's like a manager who plays on the counter or whatever. But that's absolute rubbish. When we had we do now play a bit more on the counter because of Ismail Assar, and it lends to that with his pace on the break. But when we had Elise and Eze, when he had the first little spell when he first joined, we were absolutely bringing it to teams. I remember we scored a goal at Anfield when we beat Jurgen Klopp in his last season, which kind of killed your title hopes that season. And Klopp just kind of stood on the touchline and was like, wow, that was amazing. He is
Mm,
absolute top. I think he's an elite manager. I think I'm going to enjoy it while he's here. I'd be surprised if we have him beyond this season. We could maybe get him for one more season after that. I think he's going right to top. I mean, he might slide into United because they're trying to play this system and he can actually do it well. Um, but I think I see him ending up at Bayern Munich. I think
mm.
he was linked with Bayern Munich before Vincent Company. They wanted to speak to him, but he'd only just come through the door at Palace. And I don't know. I think if Bayern Munich don't do well in the Champions, they'll probably win the Bundesliga. But if they don't do well in the Champions League, I think that's a natural one, unless he wants to stay in the Premier League.
Mm. No, that's very true. Hopefully, it's not United. I could safely say that. Guehi either joins us in January or next summer for free. Kanai is Madrid bound. We need to get a centre back in January. After gotten news about Leone, absolutely. Chris echoing what I'm saying as well. Should have got Guehi earlier instead of messing around. Yeah, Palace went after Igor. That was never going to happen. A Brighton player going to Palace. I was thinking strange one. Spencer says exactly, Chris. Guehi being professional about it, to be honest, which is good to see by the sounds of it. I feel Glasner does leave end of the season. I don't know why. A big question still about Palace board despite Palace success. I was just going to say the same thing. Think Liverpool may have thought it was a done deal and he was coming. Should have sealed the deal before the deadline came and went. Absolutely. Hello, Finch Streams LFC. Hope you're well. A tricky game tomorrow. You betcha. You betcha. It's going to be very tricky. Bit early for the Christmas clubber, my man. This isn't Christmas. This is what's it called? A Udi. I think it's fashion. It's fashion, but no, this is just me in very very comfy wear. So it's not Christmassy.
I thought it was a onesie. So
It's kind of, but
yeah,
it's like it's an oversized hoodie. Um, as well. That's a good point about the agents, says Finch. Even Palace lose their key players, they still tend to replace them well and cope without them. This
yeah,
is a thing as well. You do well in the market. You
mm,
do well in the market. You always seem to replace really really well. And I'm just kind of looking at like tomorrow's game,
mm,
and I mean, I've got Mateta in my fantasy football. I've got Munoz in my fantasy football as well, and I would not imagine a lot of people probably putting Ismail Assar in tomorrow because obviously
mm,
he is
yeah,
he is back. So yeah, look, it's going to be a fascinating game. But this is a very good point from Chris. Even if you do lose your key players, you do still tend to replace them and then
Yeah.
cope with
That's
outcomes.
well over the years that was Dougie Freedman's influence as director of football. And before he left, Paris said that he'd left some names, and so obviously everyone talks about Eze leaving, and it's really sad to see him go. Legend of the club, um, scored in the quarter-final, semi-final, and final of the FA Cup we won, and he'll always be a massive player for us and remembered as that and a legend. But we've replaced him with Pino, who's a Spanish international who's in the Spain squad, for a fee that is less than some of our friends at Forest have paid. Well, who was the guy that Forest bought from Ipswich? Um,
Hutchinson.
yeah, we paid less for Pino than they've spent on. So Maranaka's just been spunking money as only he knows, and he's going to get big fine from UEFA. But we got a Spanish international for less than that. And then also the one that so with the whole Mark Gahey thing on deadline day, what kind of went under the radar was we also signed a player called Uche from Getafe, and he we've only seen him in a little cameo against Sunderland, but he looked lively as well. And Mark Cucurella, the Chelsea player, he said that Palace have signed two of the best players from La Liga in Pino and Uche. So once again, it wouldn't surprise me if they're from Dougie's little book, Dougie Freedman's little book.
Yeah.
It really wouldn't. And to be honest with you, over the summer, it was a really weird summer for Palace because obviously we've won the FA Cup, you're euphoric, and then we've got the whole UEFA stuff going on and the injustice of that. And then you mixed up with winning the Charity Shield, and then you got the whole thing on deadline day where a lot of the fans were annoyed because it was ridiculous that Gay even went to that medical. So and then it's sort of the dust settles and you look at the table and you're like, well, we're in a good position. And then you look at the players we've got in, actually, given the context of we didn't know what budget we had because the budget's different if you're in the Europa to the conference. We've come out with only losing one player from the cup final team, which is Eze, but we've replaced him with a Spanish international and another player on top of that, Anuche, who can also play in the 10. So I'm excited for the season now. I'm really excited.
I think it should be. It's also an incredibly sad indictment of the current economy around the Premier League. Absolutely mental, isn't it? It is finished. Fully, we need to get a result. A win would be huge. Really put the pressure on Arsenal. We play at St James's, which has been a house of horrors. Thinking we did win at Selhurst last year. Yeah, it was a God rest his soul. It was Jota that scored the winner that day.
Oh, really?
And that was also the game where Alisson came off injured and Jarosz had to come on. I remember that. Yeah. That is right. Big up Lee as well. Hope you're well. Spencer says that is a bummer about Leone. He was terrific. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, tough games for the two best teams in the league, but this is what it's all about. A win for Liverpool and points dropped by Arsenal, and everyone is saying the season's over. Way too early for that as well. If Liverpool lose and Arsenal do their jobs, there's only 2 points in it. Don't be shocked to see Sloan go 3 at the back in some games with Robbo in the back 3. He plays there for Scotland. He does, but my only thing I would say to that one, Chris, is that Steve Clarke uses Kieran Tierney more left centre back than he does Andy Robbo. But I can see where you're coming from. Liverpool are bottlers. I wouldn't say that. There's not much left that can shock me. I'm an old man. Saw Cantona try to kill that guy live on TV. Christ, that was at Selhurst Park, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was there. I was at that game.
Never.
I was very young. Yeah, I was at the other side of the ground though. I was at the other side of the ground. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Only relevant players go on Talksport, which is ironic. Yeah, Gabby Agbonlahor saying it's the one.
I tell you what, over the summer I actually watched a bit of Talksport just because I had nothing really better. I would get a big break in the summer with my job. Mate, a lot of it I'm sure is scripted. Like you're going
Yeah.
to take this side and you're going to take that side, and I can't. You know what? I got in a little I couldn't stand because Simon Jordan was like loving the whole UEFA thing and pinning it on Steve Parish because he hates Steve Parish because Parish got the club off him for free. And actually Simon Jordan tweeted me because he got offended
Wow.
because someone was digging Parish out and saying something, and then tweeted Simon Jordan about this guy's got to be the worst chairman ever about Steve Parish. And so I just literally wrote, "You're asking the guy who put us into administration if the chairman who won us the FA Cup is the worst chairman ever." So Simon Jordan then went on this little rant about, tweeted me back about how there was a banking crisis and took some loan out from this person. Basically blamed everyone but himself, which was ironic because all summer he was having a go at Parish for not taking accountability. So yeah, I do.
Mm.
Talk sports like a guilty pleasure, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but yeah, players like Gabby Agbonlahor on there.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. I don't mind Darren Bent so much.
No, Darren Bent's all
He's all
right.
right. He's not so
Darren Bent's all right. Yeah, Those person will do nightmare.
bad.
Gary Richards, Tellywall, tough game. Down the Pennines at the Palace. I like that. I do like that. And big up Rich as well. Red Devil United. Hope you're well, Rich. Um, I always fear going away to Palace, but we always tend to win there, even though narrow wins. It's a weird one. Yeah, I'm trying to remember your last win over us at Selhurst.
Um,
I'm trying to think. Neil Warnock days?
that's a really good question. I think we've had a fair few draws, haven't we? We've had a fair few
I
draws.
think we have. Yeah.
I mean, our last big win against you feels like it was at Anfield when Klopp was going for the title in his last season. But the Sellers one, and I mean, you can't count Crystal as a win, can you? As a draw, so um,
Something in the back of my mind is saying the 14-15 season.
yeah, that's a good question.
I think
Yeah.
you won 3-1 because I think Ricky Lambert scored for us that day,
Oh my god,
and
they're random player there.
we're in the yellow kit, and who is your midfielder? The Serbian. He scored a beautiful free kick.
Luka. I call him Luka. Luka Miller Bojevic.
Yes, he scored a banging free kick past Mignolet. I seem to remember that now.
Yeah, he was very good at set pieces.
So I think I want to say 2014-2015 season. So that means it has been 10 years since Crystal Palace beat Liverpool at Selhurst. That's insane.
Yeah,
That is absolutely insane.
I mean, is it? I mean, it can't be that long ago, surely.
That was the one that sort of immediately sprung to my mind, unless there was one.
I'm looking it up now.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's been a long time. A very long time.
Oh shit, he was there. That's basically football's 9/11.
That's mad, isn't it? Because I feel like we've sort of got a little bit of a hold on you, but it's more been away where we've had joy.
It has been more away, yeah.
And at Wembley. And at Wembley.
And at Wembley, yeah, absolutely. Big up Douglas and Chow. Hope you and your family are well. Has anyone seen the new Wolverine game trailer? The game releases next year. I haven't, to be honest, Andrew. But I hope you're well.
The new stuff of Football Manager. This is exciting.
Mm-hmm. Balassi was our worst nightmare. Yeah, and Balassi, yeah.
Yeah, that was sad. He went to Everton, but he got injured early on. It was sad. He got an ACL. It killed his career. Really, he's interesting enough. He's out playing in the second tier of Brazil at the moment. True story.
Is he right? That is absolutely
seeing out his career in the crazy. Brazilian league.
Yeah. So yeah, that took me by surprise. That that the last time you beat us was 2014, 2015, which is
Yeah.
so yeah, home win is overdue, to say the very very least. But what have you made of Liverpool so far this season? Have you been surprised that we've managed to sort of go 5 from 5?
I think you've been efficient. A bit like Palace, I think you've been efficient. I think both sides have accumulated points without playing amazing, and
Mm,
sign of a good team. Um, I think you've always got that moment of quality, and I think probably the Arsenal game encapsulates that. You know, it's very tight, and it's an amazing goal. I think you've got arguably the best central midfield in the league. Um, you've got an abundance of talent in that area, and that makes you both compact and tight, but also very creative because you've got some great passes of the ball. And I think you're doing what you did last season. You're quietly you're not really spectacularly going about your business, but you're just accumulating points to the point where already people are obviously saying. Someone in the chat's already said that if you win tomorrow, then that puts a lot of pressure on Arsenal at Newcastle.
yeah.
So I would say, yeah, I think I do believe that it's there for someone to challenge you,
Hmm.
but I don't know who they are. I mean, I don't. I just Man City obviously are. They're not really impressing,
Mm,
and Arsenal are the obvious ones. But I've got big question marks about Arteta, to be honest. So I I think at the moment you're rightly favourites to win this league, and I predicted Man City on our predictions thing, and I probably change it now if I could already. But yeah, I've been impressed with the efficiency. I can't say I've been bowled over. However, I thought you
hmm.
played well in that first half against Everton, and the new signing up front who's suspended. Is banging. And
Yeah,
at Wembley, he really stood out. I was there at Wembley and behind when he got his goal and his debut, and he really stood out. And you're like, oh my god, do they even need Isaac? Like, it's like, so I think when those two play, that's what I'd like to ask you. What happens when they're playing together? Does obviously the new signing go to the left and Isaac down the middle, and Gakpo goes?
yeah, it's a very interesting question because obviously we've got AFCON coming up very soon. Because obviously that's in the middle of December, so
Yeah.
I think they will be playing together. I think at some point.
Mm.
Um, but at the moment, I think you're kind of seeing that Isak's going through what you could call sort of a pre-season
Yeah.
almost. It feels like Slot is actually treating this as a pre-season, which I think is pretty good idea because he is getting minutes under his belt, which is really good to see. Obviously scored his first goal. Um, I, I I don't know if this is going to make anyone laugh, but I do like the fact that Southampton paid homage to Alexander Isak for basically wearing a kit that looked like the Sweden flag.
I mean, you are right though. But Slot basically said that in his press conference today that he's doing a
Mm,
pre-season. So he said he thinks he's ready to play 60, 70 minutes. So I took from that, I think
yeah,
he'll probably start, but we pulled off on the hour or on the 70.
I think so. I think
I
so.
think I don't think he would have started without the suspension, um, but I think his hand's been forced to start him tomorrow.
Absolutely. Had Ekitike kept his shirt on, then yeah, he would have probably
But
started.
I
But
will I will defend him on that. I hate bookings for celebrations. It's killing football. You know, Mateta got booked the other week for he does the kick in the corner flag. So
yeah,
corner flag came out. He kicked it so hard, so he got booked for it. It's like,
what?
what? Do you want these players to be robots? Like, I've never understood the celebration for taking the shirt off. Like, it's just insane. Like, it's just killed things like that. Just that's the killjoys of football, isn't it? Just ridiculous.
Do you know what do you know what the funny thing is about that though? You check the rules, and the reason you get booked for taking your shirt off is apparently a political. You could potentially have like a political symbol underneath your jersey.
But he didn't. So
Since when?
yeah,
It's just yeah,
mate, there's some
it's
insane rules,
ridiculous.
insane, stupid rules in football, and Palace paid the price for one of them and got demoted from Europe for it. But like, this is basically pathetic. But yeah, I mean, the players know the rules, and in that sense, I guess you have to say it was unprofessional. But I can't criticize a player for celebrating. I just can never do that. Like, I think he's a young lad,
No,
got excited, and I'm pleased he's not playing, but I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair.
no,
Yeah,
he's been excellent so far. I've been really interesting to. I think the one thing you can say, he's only what 22, 23. Um, so I think the way that we've been playing recently, you know, against Everton, I think that was our best first half. Definitely, I think the way that we played, especially Gravenberg, who I think has gone up another level this season. I think he's excelled in that number 6 role so far, but I think we're kind of seeing a different sort of Gravenberg now. I
yeah,
think you're kind of seeing more sort of goals coming towards him now.
yeah. I mean, as I
And
said, I think your central midfield is brilliant.
mm,
I think it's your strength. I think
yeah,
um,
I think that midfield three of Maka, Sobazloy, and Gravenberg is really really good.
mm,
Still a big question marks obviously with Maka. I think he's kind of getting up to fitness a little bit.
mm.
As well. But that too, Ryan Gravyberg. But yeah, he is different gravy. Different gravy to say the very very least. Um, Ricky Lambert days, says Chris. I agree with Slot on Ekiteke. More managers should do that these days. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm fully with Slot what he said. He looked pissed. Let's just say he looked really, really pissed off. Arsenal probably couldn't cope with getting blood pressure checked. Yeah. City could still get back into it if City sort themselves out defensively. Maybe that's 3 at the back when they played in the 5-0 win against us in 2017. Well, they have Burnley tomorrow, so they'll probably get their annual 5-0 victory because they absolutely love playing Burnley.
The only thing I say on
Um,
City is I think Foden is coming back to some sort of form, and that would be big for them if they the last few games.
that would be huge.
And if he could get back, then I think that would help them a lot because I think with De Bruyne gone, obviously Grealish is now gone. I look at them and I just think you're missing that bit of magic, and I think if Foden came back to the form that he was a few years ago, then that's massive for them. But I just do I see them consistently accumulating points in the manner you will? The answer is no.
Mm. Yeah, that could be that could be definitely the difference. I don't agree with bookings taking Shaw off to be honest, but at the same time as Southampton, Messi did against Madrid. There's a yeah, exactly. Another person commenting on this. Right, this is an oversized hoodie. It's got nothing to do with Santa Claus. Okay.
At least
Hello, Brian. Anyway.
you know you got an outfit for like a Christmas podcast.
That's true. That is very, very true. But no, I'm just cozy because yeah,
You know what it
we
is,
have a
mate?
thing
It's
in Scotland.
because the Liverpool badge isn't showing on the screen, so
Yeah,
it looks like it could be Santa's outfit. You got
it could be, but yeah,
yeah.
that. There you go. That's it's an oversized hoodie, Brian. Oversized hoodie. That's I do like these. I do like these. But how would we know there is a corner flag if the flag is broke? That is true. AFC always hello. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Ekiteke started well. Anyway, just needs to learn from it. It was Nunes settings that moment. Smash the likes up and then subscribe if you haven't already. Absolutely. Ryan Gravy Burke as well, and we'll get to lineups very shortly. But yeah, team news. How are you looking tomorrow?
Good, mate. I mean, the biggest news was obviously there was doubts over Pino, but he's fit. But the massive one is Ismail Assar is fit to play, and I think we missed him a lot because I don't. I as much as Palace have been accumulating points, I don't think we've been playing that well. I thought Sunderland at home was
Mm,
a missed opportunity. We drew 0-0. We played better in the second half, but it wasn't really that fluid. Um, and credit to Sunderland, by the way, they played well, in particular their goalkeeper. But the fact of the matter is, if we'd had Ismail Assar, we would have won that game because he would have put one of those chances away. And we've missed his
mm,
ruthlessness. And that right hand side for us, massive. It's really hard for teams to defend against because you've got Daniel Munoz, who's incredible, just running up and down that as a right wing back, and then you got Sarr, who will just cleverly tuck himself in, bit more centrally, get played through maybe by Wharton, and it's so hard for defenders to know where to pick him up. And it's just the FA Cup goal is probably the embodiment of that sequence move with Munoz overlapping. Obviously, it was Eze who put it away that day, but um, I think Sarbak is massive, and also because I think it plays on your biggest vulnerability. As much as Virgil van Dijk is an incredible Premier League defender, and I'm not disrespecting him because he probably gets in my all-time Premier League XV, but he lacks his pace is going, and
hmm
I think Sarr on the shoulder will be very dangerous and probably our biggest weapon tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Sarr is going to be an absolute danger. Whoever plays the left back, whether it's Kirkes, whether it's
Yeah, I mean the other
Robertson.
one who's back and who looked sharp, who came on against West Ham was Nketiah, and he will be on the bench.
Okay.
Mateta, as amazing as he is, on 70, he's done. He's puffing like he needs to come off, and then Nketiah comes on and gives us a different kind of impetus. So again, he's one with pace. He can play on the shoulder. So him being back as well, I think we'll see him on around the 70th as well to sort of run out of tired Liverpool defence.
Yeah. I think I look at your team and I just think there's strength throughout this team, like midfield wise. Um, I mean, I know. Obviously, speak about obviously about other players, but Adam Wharton.
Unbelievable.
I have been a huge fan of his.
Yeah.
Um, is he another one that you're a bit like just enjoying while it lasts?
He's the one, mate. You can talk about Eze, you can talk about Margate. Adam Wharton's the one. He's the biggest unique talent out of all of them. He's a rarity in English central midfielders to have that eye for a pass and just watch him. Like if you want to show a young player how to pick out a pass and how to swivel your body and move your body to sort of find those angles, he's someone that you would pick out. I do have to say as well because as much as Palace and Forest have a thing at the moment, I think Elliot Anderson as well is another unique player, and there's some
Yeah,
in social media having a debate about Wharton or Anderson, but I don't think that's a debate that Forest and Palace fans need to have because I think actually if Wharton and Anderson play together for England, you could finally get the control in the midfield where we've been overran and outpassed for years against teams like Spain. Would finally have that. But Wharton is the one, and with Sarr back as well, Wharton is the one who's going to play that through ball to release him. So yeah, I love Adam Wharton. I will. I don't think he will be with us beyond next summer. Anytime he's been linked this year, I've just laughed because there's no way we were going to let him go. It was always going to be either
mm,
Eze or Gahey or both. I think the plan for Adam Wharton is to sell him, and I think we'll sell him for somewhere between 80 to 100 million next summer.
yeah. I've seen. Sorry, Rich. I noticed you were doing a video on Wharton earlier, and I seen something. Was it 65 million? He's way worth more than that.
Yeah. If it's 65 million and rising to add on fees. But
Mm,
he's the big one. So, like, where we're letting Gahey go for free. that will probably be balanced, not balanced out, but I think we know we're going to get a big fee for Wharton next summer.
Yeah, as far as we're concerned, obviously the only ones missing, Ekiteke because of
Mm.
suspension, and obviously the young lad Leone. Um, I've seen a few people say maybe Federico Chiesa maybe gets a start tomorrow. Now, I would not be against that. I think Federico Chiesa was absolutely amazing against Southampton. Because I think at the moment Gakpo is a little bit. I don't think he's in bad form, but I think he's just in a little bit of a rut at the moment. Like nothing seems to be coming off for him at the moment, and maybe he could do with a bit of a rest. Look, we go to obviously Galatasaray on Wednesday. That's
Mm.
going into hell basically over there. Um, and then we go to Stamford Bridge on Saturday tea time, I think it is, um, as well. So two, three really tough away games coming up. So I think we might see maybe it freshen up tomorrow potentially. We'll come on to team lineups very shortly.
Yeah, I mean, by the
Um,
way, Gakpo is in my fantasy football team, so that's why he's not playing well.
ah.
But you're worrying me now that he's not playing. I haven't done my transfers yet, so if you're saying he's not playing, I have to make another change because I've got someone who's injured that I need to take out. I can't remember who it is, but yeah.
Yeah. So we will come on to team lineups. What do you think is the Palace lineup tomorrow?
Ooh. I'm torn between two because I really want to see Pino and Sarr in the tens together. They haven't played together yet. So far, we've seen
Yeah.
Pino play in the 10 with Kamada, and for me, they're both great players, but I think neither of them are as direct as Sarr, and I think the balance of Pino and Sarr will bring. I think Pino's played quite well in his first few games, but I think there's a lot more to come, and I think there's been a few times we played a really clever ball, and I've watched it and thought if Sarr's there, that's brilliant because Sarr's going to be running through. And I think those two will balance each other out really nicely with Pino on the left and Sarr on the right. So I want to see that, but then I'm also conscious of what we've been talking about and how strong your central midfield is. Is will he go Wharton and Kamada? I think he might want
Mm.
to play Fuse in this one, and he's been one of the
Well,
stories.
Hughes.
He's been one of the stories of Oliver Glasner, in that he's one of those players who this is what annoys me with Amarin, and people talk about Amarin and he hasn't got the players for the system, but you develop players and Fuse is a massive example of a player that Glasner's come in and really developed and made. He's always had the talent. And he's been a big player for us over the last season. I do wonder whether he'll go with a Fuse and Wharton pivot and maybe put Kamada in the left 10 and Sarr in the right 10, and then maybe bring Pino off the bench. I'm gonna. Do you know what? I'm gonna go with that, but it also wouldn't surprise me if he went with Wharton and Kamada, which was the central midfield pairing that played in the FA Cup final. And I think Kamada is better in the 8 than he is in the 10. And then he could go Pino on the left and Sarr on the right. But if I had to put money, it really is. I'm really finding this hard to go with what he'll go with. But if I had to put money on it, I think he will go Hughes and Wharton, and then Kamada left 10, Sarr right 10, and I think he might save Pino for off the bench.
Yeah, because I've seen. Is it Benitez, the sub keeper? Is he injured?
Yes, he is. Yeah, I think so. I don't know if he's back yet. I know he was. Yes, so he was out of the West Ham game, so I'm not sure if he's returned. I think he might be all right. I think it was only meant to be like a week he was out. Yeah, so obviously,
Mm.
yeah, we can't get Dean Henderson injured.
No, absolutely not.
No, but he was a good signing. He's a very good number 2 to have. He's got European experience, so I think as well he probably play a few games in the Conference League.
Mm-hmm. You could
Yeah.
probably play at Anfield in the cup game as
Oh,
well.
he will absolutely 100% play at Anfield. Yeah, he'll be playing. Yeah, in that one. Definitely be playing in that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and Mamardashvili as well. So
Mm.
you're going Henderson, Munoz.
Henderson, Munoz, Mitchell left wing back, then the back three: Richards, Mark Gahey, captain, Crystal Palace player, not a Liverpool player, Lacroix. I'm going to go Wharton and Hughes, and then I think he'll go with Kamada left 10, Sarr right 10, and then up front, John Philippe Mateta. Ain't no striker better.
Yeah,
As I
that
said, it wouldn't surprise me if Pino starts and Kamada drops to the 8. So, but I do think what I said there, I reckon if I had to put money on it, I'll go with that.
yeah, I think the fact we've got Galatasaray and Chelsea, I think he might freshen up tomorrow. I've got a feeling he might freshen up tomorrow. So this is what I'm going to go with. I'm going to Alisson will start, obviously. Question mark over right back. I didn't think Frimpong had his best game against Southampton, so I think Bradley will come in to take his place. Kanai Van Dijk, definitely.
Not Gahey.
Let left back. I mean, Robertson played midweek, so you'd probably see Kirkes probably comes in.
He's in my fantasy football
But
team.
is it Kirkes?
I captained
Grab.
him. Do you know when he went off when they pulled him off after he got booked? I captained him that
Uh-huh.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
that pretty much sums up
That's
how
not
my fantasy football's going. So.
can only get better. Gravy Burke, as Chris says,
Yeah.
Gravy Burke. Soboslai.
Oh, so good.
So difficult to say this, but I think Wirtz will come back in. I think it was quite refreshing actually what he said the other day. Um, Basically said that the manager obviously see me in the start me in the Champions League. He wants me keep me fresh for like the next again game.
Mm.
So I think Bears comes back in tomorrow. Now I'm making a change at left wing, and I'm bringing Federico Chiesa in because I think he was so good against Southampton. I just think he should reward
Mm.
players who had very, very good performances. So I'm going to go Chiesa left wing.
I look at him and think that he hasn't really been given a fair shot yet. Like, ever since he joined, I don't think he's ever been really given a run at it, has he?
I think with what's obviously last season was documented how much he didn't have much of a pre-season last season.
Mm.
Didn't have much of a pre-season sort of this season either. But the one thing I like about Chiesa basically came out and said, manager didn't pick me for the Champions League squad. I was like, okay, I'll just keep fighting for my place. That's the perfect attitude to have if you're a footballer. And obviously, it is World Cup year. I know there's been other people saying. I think Gattuso came out and said that he should have moved in the summer, but I think it was more. The more he was sort of getting picked in the squads, you look at obviously Bournemouth comes off the bench, scores a really good goal, and obviously played it very well against Southampton as well. But other games he's been coming on as well. He's going to be very important this season. I've
Mm.
got a real good feeling about Chiesa this season because for me, I think you see like the difference we've got at the left wing. Like, you've got Chiesa, you've got Gakpo, you've got the
Mm.
young lad in Gamoa, and it's competition for places, and I really do like that. So I think Chiesa is really important. So yeah, for me, Chiesa left wing.
Yeah.
Wirtz number 10, Salah right wing, and obviously Alexander Isak up front.
Mm.
So yeah, um, who I believe loves a goal against Crystal Palace. I was looking at the stats before coming on, and
Yeah.
he did like a goal against Newcastle, against Palace for Newcastle, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, the suspension is good for us, but then careful what you wish for. I mean, you've got a world class player coming in who's going to be desperate if it's his first start to do well, and
Yeah,
he's gagging for it, mate. He's been wanting to move all summer. Like he was held back by Newcastle, the whole saga. Like first start, I do fear that, and Palace do have a habit of giving people like presents, like their first goal for a club or something. Like it's just so. I think if he's only playing 60 or 70 minutes, he can do a lot of damage in that time, though, couldn't he? So, um,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's a strong team. Is McAllister fit?
There's I think he'll be on the bench tomorrow.
There's always an interesting narrative around that when he comes to Palace because obviously he's ex Brighton, but he is one of the ex Brighton I begrudgingly respect. I think he again, that is testament to how good your central midfield is that he can't get in sometimes. like, um,
Yeah. All right, I'll go Allison, Bradley, Kanati, Van Dijk, Kirkes, Grav, Soboslai, Chiesa, Wirtz, Salah, and Isak. So that's my team. Chris goes for Allison, Bradley, Kanati, Van Dijk, Kirkes, Gravy, Burke, Soboslai, Big Mac. All right, so the difference is obviously a Chiesa there. Salah, Isak, Wirtz. Oh, he said maybe Gakpo on the bench and then Wirtz on the left. Wouldn't be against that as well. Santa Douglas.
That though,
Jesus
so
Christ.
that sort of lineup is why I think Hughes will play. I just think that we need
Mm,
both him and Wharton in there tomorrow.
yeah. Gravenberg will be vital tomorrow. I like that. I do like that. Adam Wharton's the best six in the league. Wow, that's some going. Brian, that is some going for sure.
He's definitely
Uh,
up there. He's definitely up there.
Tuesday. Oh, did I say Wednesday? Oh, must be Tuesday. Oops. I'm getting sort of confused. I'm getting sort of confused with the days that are happening because my wife is her birthday's coming up.
Yeah,
My son's second birthday's coming up as well. So
yeah.
yeah,
And to be fair as well, you've got a lot on, haven't you? Getting all the presents ready in Lapland and stuff.
absolutely. I think it is. I think it's Gala Tuesday. Olise to Liverpool next summer. Will Palace get a sell-on fee? Ooh, good question.
Um, that is a good question. I don't know because Elise's agent's very clever and had to sell on. We had the release clause, so I don't know if that was included. I think we might have a small one, maybe.
Hmm.
But I mean, Elise's agent, very good agent, and you have to say fair play. He had a release clause at Reading, which allowed us to buy him, and then put the release clause in that enabled him to go to Bayern, and then he's put another release clause even when he went to Bayern. Obviously, for him to come back to the Premier League. This is what I'd say is Michael Elise, unbelievable player, and he would be the outstanding replacement for Salah. It hasn't surprised Palace fans how well he's done at Bayern Munich. He is an
Yeah.
elite player. Yeah, and all the more crazy, by the way. No one talks about this that we won the FA Cup after we sold Elise. like,
It's mental.
yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? We lost such a
It's
key player like that. But
it's,
Arsenal lose
it's
Saka and it's all
bonkers.
over. They can't win anything.
Mm. Different mentalities. Different
Different
mentalities.
mentality, exactly. And that's the problem at Arsenal is the mentality of their manager.
Yeah. Allison, Bradley, Van Dijk, Kanai, Kirkes, Mac Gravers, Rio versus Isak Sala. Oh, he's going for Ingo Moore to potentially start. This is what I say with a competition for places. It's a really
Mm.
good time to be a Liverpool supporter, and it's a very good time to be a Palace supporter as well. But that's crazy that when you say that you basically like sold Elise, then you win the FA Cup. It's crazy, but I'm with you. Michael Elise has had a fantastic start to his Bayern Munich career.
Yeah,
Um, and he'll go for big money next summer. But
mm.
as a Salah replacement, yes, please. I think that would be
Yeah.
amazing, absolutely amazing.
But
Um, uh,
I could see him coming.
Chris said,
I could see him at Liverpool. Yeah.
Chris saying, but our attack is weakened apparently.
Yeah. I do think it's interesting what you're
Yeah,
saying. If Wirtz plays, because what I'd say is there's a pass that the opposition can do that, as good as our defense is sometimes if you play with the three at the back, is that ball that can split between the third centre back and the wing back, particularly if you've got a wing back like Munoz who's going up and down and can sometimes get caught out. I think a player like that, even though he hasn't really set it alight yet, where it's just drifting in and playing little clever balls. And obviously, you got
mm,
great passes of the ball in that central midfield anyway. That's my concern tomorrow. Um, is that you find that ball that splits that wing back and that third centre back. Um, but we'll see.
so, um, 17 unbeaten Crystal Palace. I think it's 39 unbeaten Liverpool, as well. So, sorry, no, I'm getting this wrong. 39 games we've scored in consecutively. So tomorrow will be
I was
our
thinking
40th.
39 unbeaten. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So
I know you're
30,
doing what you're
yeah,
good. You're good, but um,
yeah. So yeah, I think five wins, fourth versus first. So score prediction. What are you feeling for tomorrow? Because I tell you something,
hmm.
I would not be against a draw
Mate, I'm going to say,
tomorrow.
when you asked me for the team selection, that's actually one of the hardest predictions of a team selections I think I've ever had, because I'm very split between the two. But prediction is quite easy, and I thought about this today, and I think draw as well. And I think both teams would be quite happy with a draw. I think you've obviously got a bit of a cushion already. You're coming away to
Yeah,
us. I'm not being arrogant, but we're in a good run. You might just look at it and go, point at Sellers Park. Yeah, we'll take that and move on. And we still got a cushion anyway. And Palace,
yeah.
another point to keep us ticking over with the unbeaten run and keep us up there. And in the next month, you're probably the hardest game we've got. We'll also, although we've got Arsenal away coming in a few weeks or so, but we've got like Everton sandwiched between that. I think we'd probably take it as well. I think both teams are going to strike a blow. I don't know if either side's going to strike the killer blow. I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1. It's funny you say that. Super Six admin for this game
Mm,
went 0-0.
really? No, I think there'll be a goal. Because as I said,
I think there'll be goals.
I think you'll find a killer pass, and I think he might take the lead, and then I think the last 20 will throw on players like Pino and Nketiah and have a bit more pace. And against where I say, as no disrespect to Van Dijk, he's slowing down a bit. I think we might get some joy in the last 20 and equalise.
Hmm.
That said,
Yeah.
Liverpool have so much quality. They're capable of dismissing us out of hand. But I, I'm very. I think that a draw is a very sensible prediction actually in this.
I think so. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw. I mean, I do my sort of Premier League predictions week in week out. Yeah. Obviously, sorry guys, there's not been a video this week. I've just been way
Mm.
too busy with work and obviously doing daddy duties. Um,
And being
but
Santa Claus.
I'm never going to live that one down. But I said a very very sort of optimistic 2-1 in my predictions.
Yeah.
But if I'm being honest, I just look into this game and you're one win away. You're one game away from that club equal club record of 18 games unbeaten. Um, and we're sort of closing in again on another record, which I think is the most goals scored consecutively. I think it's like 45. I think something like that. So yeah, one unbeaten run has to go tomorrow. But honestly, I'm gonna go. Well, I'm gonna 1-1 as well because I just think it's just one of those games where two unbeaten sides. It could be a really good game. We could get a bit of a goal fest, but with as you're saying, Munoz, Gay, and Lacroix having 11 clean sheets in 19 games is a really
Yeah.
really good record. So yeah, I think I would settle for a draw. Look, if we get the win to go 8 points clear, with Arsenal going to St James's Park, which has been a real
I mean,
struggle for them.
I mean, at the same time, yeah. I mean, do you go for the wing because psychologically it'd be massive, and you put so much pressure on Arsenal? Is Slot thinking, yeah, actually, we've got a cushion, we could afford to lose. Why not
Yeah,
go for get the win and try and strike a really early blow in this title race? As mad as that
yeah,
sounds so early on, but it would put so much pressure on Arteta. Um,
it would.
Arsenal fans are starting to ask questions. You know, his team selection last week and in not playing, starting Eze was ridiculous. And yeah, I think there'd be a lot of pressure on Arteta going up to Newcastle, as ridiculous as it sounds so early on, if you were to win tomorrow. Um, it's going to be interesting in how both managers approach it, because you get to the last 20, 15 and we're drawing. I don't think either manager is going to sit back.
No,
Is it just going to be us like sussing each other out and trying to get the killer blow, rather than one of us just like really going for it, or are they going to go for the win? I mean, Glasner's mentality is to go for it, is a winning mentality. They're both winning mentality managers. I don't think neither of them are going to go gung ho for it. I don't think.
no, absolutely not. When you think of what Arteta did against Manchester City, basically leaves, and obviously, the best person to speak to you is obviously about Eze.
Mm.
Why did you keep him on the bench last week?
I don't know. Look, I'm a little bit worried for Eze going to Arsenal, in that he's not. He can play on the left, but he's not a left winger. Like, his best position
Mm,
is in 10, and I think that's probably where most Arsenal fans want him, because some Arsenal fans are dissatisfied with Odegaard. Um, but
yeah,
Odegaard is an Arteta favourite, so I do worry a bit about Eze there. But he played well when he came on, and in a way that was him in given freedom. Given freedom to make something happen to get them back in the game. But I
yeah,
just think sometimes, do you know what? I do think football's got a bit boring and less entertaining, and I think managers now are so mechanical in a process, and Arteta in particular, always talking about the process, and now, like, there's they won't play players until they're really embedded in and they know the system. But sometimes you've just got to seize the moment, and Eze is so overjoyed to be joining Arsenal. I mean, even I had to be, you have to be happy for him, watching him walk out of the Emirates, even as a Palace fan, and him talking about how much it meant, because he was kicked out as a boy and then he's fulfilled the dream of coming back. Is sometimes just go with a moment and a feeling.
yeah,
I think everyone had a feeling that if he was given his debut, it'd be unleashed.
yeah,
And I think
and
that's Arteta's problem. Is he's not taking the risk to get them over the line. That I find it very similar to Southgate in England, where changed the mentality, got them to a certain point. Okay, that has to be celebrated. You have to say that Arteta's done very well at Arsenal and consistently got them in the top four and at least challenging for things again. But he seems to have that thing holding him back that makes you a winner. and that might be harsh.
Yeah,
Maybe he'll prove us all wrong, but he has to prove us wrong this season, I think, or I think it might be game over for him.
I think so. And this isn't a dig at Arsenal fans or Arteta, etc., but it's the fact that I watched that game against Man City.
Mm.
They were crying out for Eze's creativity
Yeah.
in that game. Like Trossard did absolutely nothing in that game.
Oh,
Obviously, he got the knee injury to Madueke, so obviously Saka came on at half time. And what is going through Arteta's mind when he plays three defensive midfielders?
I know.
Moreno's not even a defensive midfielder, and you've obviously got you've got Declan Rice there, Zubimendi, and then
Yeah.
Moreno. Like I think I read Declan Rice and Moreno have only started have started I think it's 11 games together, one win. So Arteta obviously sees something we don't,
Yeah,
and
I don't know, and that your first point is what really got me is playing Trossard over Eze. I mean, everyone thought he's got to be in the team surely with the injuries and stuff, and he's put Trossard in there over him. I mean,
it's mind-boggling,
it
mind-boggling.
is mind-boggling, and I do genuinely believe it's because he doesn't trust him yet because he hasn't had enough time to be embedded in the process of and the system.
Yeah.
Ironically, potentially the system that's holding you back from going quite over the line. Like it's just and the game, that game in itself, in a way, I think John Terry said it that he finds football a bit boring now when he watches it. Like
hmm
you just miss watching the two top teams, the top teams just having a go at each other. Do you know what I mean?
I, I
It
mean,
feels
Arteta's got his strike. He's got his striker now as well in Gyökeres.
he
But
didn't
did
do
you see
anything.
him get? Didn't have a sniff against Manchester.
No,
Didn't have a sniff against Manchester City. Didn't
no,
have a sniff against Liverpool.
no.
Man United, he was man marked out of
Mm,
the game. Now, again, this isn't a dig at Arsenal fan, but
mm,
I've kind of said this, and a couple of people have agreed with me. He's a flat track bully. He will score against the so-called lesser clubs because there'll be like more
mm,
space in the round for him to put the
mm.
ball in the back of the net. But see against your Chelsea's, your Manchester United's, your Liverpool's, your Spurs, I'd say even Newcastle. I think Newcastle are going to man mark him out of the game. And you've obviously got you got Baltimore there as well. But
Mm.
Gyökeres is a striker who will get goals, but he will struggle against the so-called big teams because of the sort of the how sort of tight it is to
Mm.
get chances. And didn't have a sniff against Liverpool, didn't have a sniff against City, didn't have a sniff against United, and I've got a feeling that might be the same on Sunday because
I
I
genuinely
think
believe, and I don't know if they've given a timeline on when Kai Havertz comes back, but I genuinely believe when Kai Havertz comes back, he'll just play him in like a false nine, and I think Gyökeres goes out of the side.
wow, I think you could be right. I
I
think you
think
could be right. Sorry,
by that point, I think it will be more abundantly clear that Gyökeres. I don't know if Gyökeres will be a terrible signing. I just don't think he's going to be a great one. I think he's going to be a mid signing.
yeah, absolutely. Sorry, well on a bit of a tangent there, obviously,
Yeah,
but
we are,
I
but
was
we've gone on about Arsenal, but it is interesting. It is fascinating. It is, and I'm kind of hesitant to criticise Arteta in a way because he's done so well in many ways, and he's got them consistently going in the top four again, which wasn't the case when he came in. But it really is the big season for him, which is why we're already analysing it and microscoping it.
absolutely.
Mm.
We'll come to the chat now.
Yeah,
Crystal Palace 2, Liverpool 2. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Just got a feeling it's going to be a draw.
yeah,
Even if we drop points tomorrow, Arsenal will probably drop points as well, 100%. 2-1, but I wouldn't be surprised if we drew tomorrow.
Yeah.
Steven Gerrard's gone 2-1 to Liverpool. Palace will take points off other teams as well, so it won't be too bad. 100%. Guy says 3-1 Liverpool. And Auntie Arteta go for wins, not draws. Yeah, and that's the thing, Spencer. Is mentality, isn't it? It is
Mm.
absolutely the mentality. If Liverpool do win tomorrow, it would almost feel like a must-win for Arsenal, despite being only the sixth game. Yeah, 100%. Arteta's a Chico wannabe from Wish. It's Chico time. Those were the days. 2006, that was. Arteta basically has F1, McLaren F1 car, but with the brake on. Yes, Arteta plays it too safe, seems to play not to lose. Oh, crikey, here we go. What's more likely to happen? Arsenal win a trophy this season, or Verstappen comes from 69 points behind to win the Drivers' Championship with 7 races remaining? The latter. Verstappen will come back potentially. I would say. Verstappen comes back. Um, yeah, Arsenal winning a trophy. They have to win at
Mm.
least something this
Yeah,
season,
but
surely,
it was
because
interesting. I don't think he rested a few, but it wasn't as weak as a team as I thought against Port Vale. There was some big players
mm,
playing against Port Vale in the cup in the week. It's like he knows, you know.
and he actually brought on like Saka obviously started, but he looked like he got injured, and then you bring in Yorkeres on, which to me was completely pointless. Yes, it obviously showed up the game, but you bring in Declan Rice on, like just just leave them at home. Look what Liverpool did against Southampton. They left Alisson at home, Van Dijk at home, Gravenberch at home, Szoboszlai at home.
Mm.
Um, it was just Salah at home as well. No, Arteta is basically going, oh, just get the job done. It was just very very strange side.
He
Anyway,
knows he
but
needs to though. But winning that cup would probably be obviously winning the FA Cup's a much bigger cup. But if he wins that Carabao Cup, he kills the conversation about not winning something in March, and that can relax it
yeah,
at the end of the season and take the pressure off for the end of the season. So he's probably got eyeing that one up a bit.
yeah, I think so. I think the problem is Arsenal settle for just the cup. Obviously, for me, all trophies mean the same. You won the rest. Yeah, absolutely. It has to be one of the big ones, to be honest. League or Champions League, not sure if 2 FA Cups or 1 FA and 1 Carabao is good enough in 6+ years, especially getting over $1 billion in backing.
Yeah,
That
I
is
mean that's the
very,
thing. It's got
very
no
well
excuses. They
said.
spent so much money. I didn't think Eze was going to go to Arsenal. I just thought they've spent too much money. There's no way they can do it with PSR and stuff. So I was shocked
Mm.
actually when they eventually did it. I thought he was heading to Tottenham if he was heading anywhere. Um,
I
they
thought
spent,
I thought he was maybe going to Spurs as well, but he didn't. He wanted to go to Arsenal, and yeah, but yeah, tomorrow feels huge game already. Ali, thank you very much for coming on. I
yeah,
really do appreciate you
no, always a
taking the
pleasure.
time out of your
I
taking the
see
time
you
out of your
in
Friday.
November for the cup one.
Yes, I will get you on for the cup game as well, because I think it'll be two completely different games. But anyway, tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube on Pride of South London Fan TV. Doing a lot of shorts at the moment of crowd clips. I sit just to the right of Fanatics, which is good. And yeah, it's all good. So yeah, come and subscribe if you want to hear more about Palace and see more of my gnome.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes, please go check out Ali's channel. I have put it
thank
in the
you. And happy
description.
Christmas, everyone.
Um, dear, dear, dear. Dear me. Thanks, guys. You're very welcome. Have a good evening, everyone. Yeah, have a good evening.
Yeah, thanks for all the
Absolutely.
people in the chat as well. It's been good questions and good comments.
It's been very good, very very good, and good to get Ali back on here as well. But guys, obviously, if you have missed it, please do watch on playback as well. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button on my channel and on Ali's channel. And yeah, I didn't think we'd be saying fourth against first. Palace being Liverpool, but here we are. And
And
yeah, Palace.
if we win, does the conversation turn to us being the new Leicester?
Ooh.
By the way, I don't think Palace are going to win the league, but it might start people saying it. Like, yeah.
It might well do. It might
It'll be
well do.
18
But
unbeaten if we do.
it will be. It will be. But
Yeah.
from myself and Ali, we will see you very, very soon. Hopefully for a very good game tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. But anyway, good night, and we'll see you very soon. Take care.
Merry